and they're second in points allowed at 24 points per game. This game will have a huge dose of running the football. And I love this under 57. TCU versus Oklahoma State under 57 points. So our premium plays for members are Houston versus Memphis. Aside in that one, Purdue versus Indiana, Coastal Carolina versus South Alabama, and Southern Miss versus University of Texas El Paso. Quick hitters, Houston versus Memphis, under 77 we're going to give out. This is an easy one here. And I don't know why people haven't caught on more. De'Aaron King tore his meniscus last game. I watched it. And it was really sad. I think he did it a couple plays before. He fell down in the concrete, got up a little banged up, and all of a sudden he was just running backwards after a 2-point conversion or whatever it was, and then he fell. And it sucks. This is their biggest game of the year. King was to Houston almost like Lamar Jackson was to Louisville. I think King's a 10-point spreader, okay? I think he means 10 points to the line here. Now they're going to have Clayton Tune play. He's going to burn his red shirt to start for Houston and try to play this last game. And this was like the spot where they can win and play Central Florida in the championship. Now, unfortunately, these are two very different quarterbacks. Tune's more of a pocket passer from what I saw when he came in. I could be wrong, but from what I saw, and I don't think the offense has time to adjust, obviously. It takes weeks to get used to a new quarterback that's different. Memphis, on the other hand, is dying to get revenge on UCF. Dying. They almost did. Well, they lose by 1 point last time this year. It was extremely rainy outside, and Memphis played UCF, and they lost by 1 point at home. Now they want one more crack at them. I saw that Memphis SMU game, and I was on the wrong side of that, and I realized it right away last week. I sent out to members that I'm buying back on Memphis, and I did for half. I should have did the whole thing, but Memphis, and it was a live bet, but Memphis, they had a ton of penalties, and they were still just whooping up on SMU. I mean, they're a very motivated team, and you can see that. They want revenge here, okay? But I'll tell you this, the under 77 is a smart play because Memphis's defense is definitely better than it's ever been. And Houston's defense isn't too shabby, you know. I think this could be one of those games where it's like 30-21, and it's a surprisingly low, just because the defenses show up a little bit. And I think that, you know, Memphis is eventually just going to kind of have to run the clock out on this team. Memphis is only allowing 29.4 points per game, 5.43 yards per play. Last year, they're allowing 32 points per game and 5.75 yards per play. So they've improved. And then Houston, on the other hand, allows only 5.65 yards per play and 32 points a game. It's a little bit worse. But that huge juggernaut offense getting 7 yards per play is going to be gone without King. So definitely like an under 77 here, and I'm shocked more people didn't jump on it. You look at the weather report, moderate rain, 12-mile-per-hour winds. I don't think I have to say anything anymore about this. Another quick hitter. Washington State hosting Washington for the Apple Cup, baby. You know that Washington State is the best team against the spread. And you're telling me I can have the best team in college football against the spread, -3 at home to their rival Washington. They're the best team in the Pac-12. This is a huge revenge spot for Washington State, too. Gardner Minshew is having a dream season, and there's no reason to think that Washington's going to be able to stop this train. This spread means pick them on a neutral field, and I think that Washington State is better than Washington. Washington's a little overrated this year. Both these teams are pretty equal against, not against the spread. They're pretty equal from a net yards per play perspective. Washington State's got the better offense. The Huskies have a better defense. So in net yards, it's pretty close. And both teams have had similar schedules. The handicap here is that I do not think that the Huskies can keep up with this team. I don't. Not this year. The Cougars are like the Kansas City Chiefs to the NFL. They really are. Well, I actually should say the Kansas City Chiefs are almost like the Cougars because Mike Leach has been doing this for a very long time, right? And man, I got to tell you, I feel that this is their year. They're going to take care of business, and unfortunately, get completely screwed in the college football playoff. So that's how it's going to be. But going back to what I was saying, Washington, when they played higher tempo teams like UCLA and Oregon, they lost to Oregon, and they barely got out of UCLA. They only won by 7 points, and this is a very, very green UCLA team, right? So I'm laying the 3 points Washington State, and I feel pretty dang good about it as well. Some other big games. Michigan versus Ohio State. Oh, Michigan. I wanted to bet you. I wanted to, man. But Ohio State screwed it. And the reason they did is because they looked like shit against Maryland and Purdue. Okay? The value is gone. They're dogs by 4 points at home. I was thinking like this is going to be a 2-point dog. I could hit Michigan. And all of a sudden this happens, you know. Ohio State almost loses. Look, all this talk about Urban Meyer possibly going to be leaving and all the controversy and the defense looking like shit. So waiting this whole year to finally bet Michigan and Harbaugh to win this game, and which he very might still win this game, but the 4 points is too much. And I think there might even be some value on Ohio State here just because it's in their home field. They haven't been dogs since Urban Meyer's been there, I believe, or at least since their national championship at home. You know, so this is just, you know, a tough spot. You probably want to look more towards the under in this game now if you want to bet it, but or just take a Michigan money line. You know, just lay it. If you're a Michigan fan, that's possibly what I would do here. But I just do not like the 4 points. I don't trust the officiating. I don't trust. I just don't trust Dwayne Haskins. Look at how good he can come back. You know, he can. They can garbage you too. They can be down by 10 and then get a touchdown and 2-point conversion or whatever. Or sorry, down by 11, touchdown, 2-point conversion. That is, yeah. I just can't touch this game, and I want to, guys. But we'll be keeping an eye on the spread. I'll probably be tweeting about this game. Alabama versus Auburn. Alabama's laying 24 points. I'm not sure if that's enough. They might want to just absolutely destroy Auburn here, and I don't see why not. But we're just going to do what we normally do. Take the first half with Alabama and be happy with that. And, you know, it's been so hot until they played the Citadel, right? And, for some reason, they decided to score 10 points the first half against Citadel, whatever that was. I wasn't watching, sorry. But I think that we're going right back to that. They're gonna prove that they're the first half juggernaut again. You're gonna probably see a 13-point spread on the first half, and you might as well jump it. I can see this being 17-0, 21-0, 21-3, 24-7, something like that. At the worst case scenario, at the end of this first half versus Auburn. Auburn doesn't have the offensive line to even think about scoring this game. They don't. Not against Michigan. The other one's the Egg Bowl. Yeah, Mississippi State at Ole Miss. And, I hate Ole Miss screwed us last week with that total. But I'll tell you, they can score sometimes. They're one of those like Wake Forest type teams, right? Syracuse type teams, very fast playing, but have a terrible efficiency. Sometimes it'll just be terrible in the red zone. Sometimes it just works for them. It's just one of those teams that are just erratic. So it's hard to bet these teams that are just completely erratic. You watch Ole Miss destroy, pretty much destroy Texas Tech that first game, and then just be terrible afterwards. It's just very strange. I know their defense is terrible, but can their offense keep up with Mississippi State? The fact that Te'amu is mobile and they run fast plays, maybe that's going to get them. I don't know. So it's a game I'm going to stay away from. I guess you have to lean the dog at 10.5. Let's move on to
the sharp side of the force.
The Sharp Side of the Force is brought to you by uwager.eu. Please visit the odds breakers and click on a uwager banner. You get a 50% one-time bonus. All right, let's get into this sharp line movement. Now remember, on the sides, we only discuss it if there is a 20 percentage point difference between the number of tickets and the money. So basically, if 40% of the bets are on one team, but 60% of the money is on that team, that means there is a sharp side there because that there is more money pushing that line. It's usually more smart money. We only do 30% for totals. Mississippi State at Ole Miss. -8.5 to -10.5. Past a key number there. So the sharp money on Mississippi State, I went past the key number. I'm not interested. At least not right now until I research more. Kansas, sharp money, +15 hosting Texas. We were on them last couple weeks and did well. Missouri, -19.5 all the way to -23. They're hosting Arkansas. There's dual action on Buffalo, -13 to -15-ish. I can't bet it because of my 12-1 MAC ticket that we put on the Bulls. So I'll be waiting to put a small hedge on Bowling Green. Georgia State, +11, hosting Georgia Southern. Illinois, +18 at Northwestern. 40 percentage point difference. Yuck. Apparently, Pat Fitzgerald pays attention to the spreads, as we learned when they played Minnesota last week. He said he was insulted by the spread. I am not touching that. Georgia, -17, hosting Georgia Tech. Look what Clemson did to Georgia Tech, and Georgia is only -17. I think Clemson won by 24, right? I don't remember. But anyways, I think that's a little bit, I think that's right. I think that actually spread that looks pretty right to me. Wisconsin, -10, hosting the Gophers for the Battle of the Axe. I agree with this one, and I haven't bet too much Wisconsin, as you know, my favorite team, but I really agree if Hornibrook is back. I think that Jordan Taylor is going to run crazy once again all over the poor, unfortunate Gophers. Old Dominion, sharp money, -8, hosting Rice. Rice is bad. New Mexico State, +9 at Liberty. Liberty got destroyed last week against Auburn. Utah State from +3 down to +2 at Boise State, a 41 percentage point difference. Now, we all know Utah State was against a spread juggernaut until they played Colorado State last week. This game's going to decide if who goes to play Fresno State in the Mountain West championship game. And so, this one's going to be good. I have to watch this game. I'm going to have it on a TV for sure. So Utah State, I think they should be a pick 'em probably at Boise.